Welcome to Rubizmo Masterclass and the first module in the learning series of business models. My name is Mohammadreza Dehghannejad and I am a research assistant at the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences, where as a member of the Rubizmo, I work on discovering business model innovations that can improve the rural areas. I have 2 master's degrees in agricultural management and executive management and marketing. This session is provided with my colleague's collaboration, Karin Andersson, who is a researcher at the Research Institutes of Sweden, where she is a PhD student. Karin also has 2 master's degrees in environmental management and business administration, and she is a member of the Rubizmo project. Rubizmo is established through a European Commission program, Horizon 2020, for research and innovation, and it aims to inspire and enhance entrepreneurship and rural enterprises to improve their businesses and business models. Let's see the Rubizmo teaser and the project's aims.
The European project Rubizmo analysed numerous rural companies from different sectors, including food and agriculture, bio-based value chains and ecosystem services, to identify innovative business cases and their business models. Their mission: examine and pinpoint the keys to success, thereby inspiring others to do the same. Their research reveals sustainable businesses do not only have to be profitable, but often also generate value for the environment and society. Rural innovation is tightly interwoven with entrepreneurial drive and innovative spirit, geographical location, and available supporting networks. These findings are made available and can be an inspiration for fresh ideas. But recognize, a successful business always requires your own personal twist.
Generally, rural areas are affected by several different challenges, such as global competition, automation, changing markets, environmental challenges, ICT connectivity, and finally, skills and talent development. But these challenges can share gaps and structures, which help to make changes or new business models. But before I go through the business model concept, I highly recommend you read this article, which is free of charge and it can help you to understand the difference between the strategy and business model, as they can come up with many misunderstandings. Let me briefly explain the difference between a strategy and business model. The term strategy is defined as how all the elements of what a company does fit together. As you can see in the left side, a strategy develops capabilities that could change current business models in the future. Therefore, a strategy requires the creation of dynamic capabilities that can respond to possible conditions through the organization's business model. And here I add that every organization has a business model, but they might not always have a strategy. Therefore, looking at the right figure, while a strategy reflects the company's purpose, business models describe what a company really is at the given time. The masterclass contains 4 sessions, and today is an introduction of business model and business model canvas components. In the next session, we will work on the value proposition, and in the 3rd and 4th sessions, we will work on the right-hand side and left-hand side of the business model canvas respectively. So, what is a business model? A business model is a financial architecture that explains how a company can gain economic value from its resources and capabilities. Of course, resources per se have no value to customers. In fact, the value is created through transactions made using different resources. As a conceptual tool, a business model can help a company create value for its end customers with the logic of its performance in a specific area and through a set of elements. But what does a business model look like? We have different structures. However, Osterwalder's business model, which you can see on your screen now, is the most popular among management practitioners. This is called business model canvas, which is like a canvas to paint on. In fact, the word canvas makes this business model tangible. As you can see, this business model shows how different elements of the business work together at a given moment in time. And these interrelated elements help to identify weaknesses and strengths, as well as conflicting values. Therefore, we can challenge the existing business model and invent a new one. And since it has the same language, it can be easily understood by everyone. In the next animation, you will be described each component of the business model canvas. Let's see the animation.
The European project Rubizmo analysed rural companies in 11 European countries to identify innovative business cases and their business models. Their mission: examine and pinpoint the keys to success, thereby inspiring others to do the same. Their research reveals rural innovation is tightly interwoven with entrepreneurial drive and innovative spirit, geographical location, and available supporting networks. However, many good business ideas never survive being faced with economic reality. Even with a valuable new product or service at the core, shortcomings in a chosen business model can prevent success. Rubizmo uses a business model canvas to visualize the elements of success. This helps to collect, understand, and better communicate the ingredients that transform a business idea into a viable, sustainable, and scalable venture. The business model canvas uncovers the strengths, weaknesses, and potentials of existing and evolving companies. It can also be used to sketch out entirely new ideas, helping entrepreneurs to think of all the necessary parts for a successful business. One important key for a successful business model is to understand exactly who your customers are, their needs, and what keeps them satisfied. It's important to understand the value of your offer from the customer point of view. Thereby, you can improve your product or service and compete with existing solutions. Connecting with customers and an effective delivery to the customer is a growing area of challenges and opportunities. New technologies can enable direct contact between producer and customer, both local and even far away. Continuing to respond and support customers before, during, and after sales is an increasing expectation. Customer relationship management can be as important as your product or service and sets you apart from competitors. The value of your product or service that customers are willing to pay for will generate the revenue streams. But all business activities also involve costs. First off, identify all of the key activities that are necessary to develop, produce, and deliver your goods or offer. Test and refine with others to make sure all the necessary steps to start operation are in place and efficiently run. These key activities need the right resources to become reality. What skills and materials are required, for instance? The key resources of each business and their context can vary. They might be manpower, financial, natural resources, or technical equipment. In any case, securing access to key resources is crucial for your success. The same applies for the key partners a business needs. Consider how your business interacts and intersects with others. A strong network might include partners to help in management, recruitment, research and development, or investment. Still, some ventures just need the strong entrepreneurial drive of one single person. These activities, resources, and partners come at a cost. If you want to make a viable business, be sure that, in the long run, your revenue is higher than these costs. Only when all the elements are in place is it possible to get an overview of the total costs, revenue streams, and possible economic profit. Rubizmo research reveals that sustainable businesses do not only have to be profitable, but often also generate value for the environment and society. Rubizmo has analysed numerous rural companies from different sectors, including food and agriculture, bio-based value chains, and ecosystem services. These findings are made available and can be an inspiration for fresh ideas. But recognise, a successful business always requires your own personal twist.
Here you can see all business model components in one frame. And from now on, I will try to explain each component using short animations. Let's start with the value proposition and the first animation about the company Ocean Rainforest.
In the crystal clear Atlantic waters off the Faroe Islands, a new superfood is cultivated, seaweed, a real treasure trove of benefits. Seaweed is one of the natural sources of iodine, contains vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals like calcium and iron and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are essential for the human body. By processing the harvested macroalgae, they add value to a variety of raw products. They can be used as food and animal feed, for cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, as well as fertilizer, biofuel, and packaging material. Front-runner in the developing of offshore seaweed cultivation systems is Ocean Rainforest in the Faroe Islands. Led by their pioneering founder in 2012, the company started to discover the highly untapped potential of seaweed and is today building up their business based on this huge and fast-growing market potential. Seaweed cultivation has a large business potential. It grows very fast without the need of fertilizers. It absorbs nitrogen and more CO2 than a tropical rainforest, fighting climate change and cleaning the ocean. Up to 6 harvests can be done from the same lines without reseeding, and 2 harvests per year are viable. It relieves pressure from arable land, and 2/3 of the surface of the earth being water, the areas available for cultivation are nearly unlimited. It's a sustainable alternative for food and feed and creates local jobs. In the Faroe Islands, seaweed already has been the driver for local development in a rural coastal area, and replication opportunities are open for anyone living next to the shore of the North Atlantic. Additionally, the cultivation system developed by Ocean Rainforest is now being adapted for kelp species in the Pacific Ocean in a demonstration project in California, USA.
What is a value proposition? Many people think that a value proposition is about a technology or, for example, a new idea, but it is about solving a problem. When we want to propose a value, we should ask ourselves, who are our customers, what pains are we solving, and what gains are we creating? So a value proposition explains why the customers should choose one product over another. In fact, it is important for a product to solve a problem in a unique way. Back to the case, we can see that the company has a sustainable alternative for food and feed, which doesn't need fertilizers and absorbs nitrogen and carbon dioxide. In addition, it releases pressure from arable lands and creates local jobs for people living in coastal areas. So, as you can see, the processed macroalgae can add value to a variety of raw products such as food, animal feed, cosmetics, fertilizers, biofuel, and packaging materials. Okay, we continue with the next animation.
Tourism in Spain is usually associated with sunbathing, swimming in the sea, and relaxing. In the northwest region of Murcia, the project Virere is offering an entirely novel touristic experience. The centre combines rural tourism with environmental education. Since 2015, the project offers not only accommodation for families and groups, but also free introductory courses on topics including permaculture, renewable energies, bioconstruction, landscape restoration, and solar-powered ovens. Their trademark, every detail represents their value of sustainability and acts as a showcase for the visitors who might later implement the Virera ideas themselves. The facilities are made of natural and recycled materials with low environmental impact. In their eco-garden, a food forest is integrated, consisting of organic fruits, vegetables, and aromatic plants of the area. Beside a rainwater collection system, they use a natural water purification system by subsurface wetland. Using different techniques, they generate sustainable energy on their own premises. Since its start in 2015, the mixed business model is growing, but still 90% of the customers are regional and national. To attract more visitors from abroad as well, new experiences like local wine tasting, a truffle plantation, and an electric vehicle charging system are built up. Additionally, Virere teaches courses also externally and joined different networks. Furthermore, they are proposing to replicate the business model in a refugee area. To be economically viable, unique projects like Virere have to be innovative, diversified, and integrated. Together with an adequate pricing structure, similar highly appreciated niche offers can create a successful business model.
The first component that I want to describe it to you with this company is the key activities. When it comes to the key activities, we should know, based on our value propositions, what kinds of activities are key to our business and what kinds of activities are important if we want to maintain our customer relationship. Here we need to be good at something, or so to say, be expert at something. For example, production, problem solving, and engineering, managing a supply chain, and so on. Back to the case, we can see that the company offers accommodation for families and groups. It holds free introductory courses on several sustainability-related topics. In their eco-garden, they produce organic foods and vegetables. And finally, the company collects rainwater through their water collection system and by applying different techniques, generates sustainable energy for their own uses. As you can see, the key to success is in having diversified, integrated, and unique activities. The next component is the customer segments. Here we need to know for whom are we creating value and who are our most important customers. Customers can be divided into different sections in terms of geography, social characteristics, and demographics, such as age, gender, profession, interests, and so on. Let's look at the company's customer segments. 90% of customers are regional and national tourists who are interested in sunbathing, swimming, and relaxing. Let me add that customers don't exist to buy, but we exist for them. Therefore, a company needs to understand the customers in detail to be able to create the best value propositions for them. The last component that I want to describe it to you with this company is the channels. Here we need to know through which channels do our customer segments want to be reached. A product or service can reach each customer segment in different ways. For example, physically, digitally, and even directly or indirectly. And the channels can have different categorizations, such as sales channels, marketing channels, and distribution channels. Back to the case, we can see that vehicles transport tourists from the airport to the company. In addition, the company teaches courses externally and joins different networks and is proposing to replicate the business model in a refugee area. Alright, we continue with another short animation.
More than 8 million tons of plastic are thrown into the sea every year. What if all this plastic would just vanish into non-toxic components? The Italian company Bowman might have found the answer. In 2007, a group of entrepreneurs established Bowman, a startup dedicated to the production of new, 100% ecological and sustainable materials. The basis of their success is built on their highly qualified staff, mainly biologists and chemists. Their pioneering invention, using renewable resources or agricultural waste materials to produce polyhydroxyalkanoates, short PHAs, truly organic plastic. In collaboration with international scientific and economic key partners, their valuable product was tested for sustainability and possible applications. The Bowman PHA is a linear polyester produced in nature by non-pathogenic and non-genetically modified bacteria. The bacteria feed on all kinds of sugars, thereby producing an energy reserve, the PHA. The PHA is extracted without the use of any chemical organic solvents and in a completely sustainable process. The dried PHA powder can be coloured and extruded into pellets like the common oil-based plastics. The PHA pellets and powder can be used to create materials with extremely different properties and purposes, like cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, packaging design, clothing and smart applications. But the best is yet to come. Once used and dumped, this organic plastic will naturally, in just a few days, dissolve into non-toxic molecules and metabolites, no matter if it ends up in the soil, in river water, or the sea. The successful intellectual property company is licensing out their technology to customers worldwide, and in the meanwhile continue to research to enlarge the biomass used, define production standards, and identify new areas of application. As the story of Bowman shows, innovative, groundbreaking ideas can make the difference. So get off the beaten track.
The first component that I want to describe it to you with this company is the key partners. Partners can act as a powerful lever, but before a deal, it is important to understand what are we acquiring from the key partners. A partnership can be in the form of a loose relationship, or it can be like an exclusive contract. Here we need to know which partnerships are critical to our business, what type of partnerships would suit our needs, and which key resources are we getting from key partners. Back to the case, we can see a group of entrepreneurs who aim to produce organic plastic. In addition, there are international scientific and economic partners who test the product for sustainability and possible applications. As you can see, here we don't have a loose partnership. Rather, this production is done in collaboration with many partners who work together and produce 100% ecological and sustainable materials. The next component is the key resources that are essential for a company to create value proposition for its customers. A company can have different kinds of resources. For example, machines, manufacturing line, vans for delivery, a customer list, a great designer, capital and credit, and so on, which we call them tangible assets. In addition, we can have intangible assets like a brand, which differentiates a company from its competitors. Let's see the company's key resources. They have great designers and highly qualified staff, mainly biologists and chemists. In addition, renewable resources or agricultural waste materials help the company to produce organic plastic. And the last block with this company is the customer relationship, which is not just about how do we get customers. Rather, after customer acquisition, what relationships we will build with the customers matters. In addition, these relationships should be such that they can help to increase customers and grow sales. Back to the case, we can see that organic plastic has attracted many sectors because it is a sustainable and dissolvable product without any toxic and harmful materials for the environment. So, a new sustainable product has attracted a lot of sectors. In addition, to keep the customers and grow sales, the company is licensing out their technology to customers worldwide and meanwhile continues its research, defines production standards, and identifies new areas of application to maintain its innovation. Okay, we continue with the last animation. So,
near the Arctic Circle in the midst of Swedish Lapland, the village Vuollerim is attracting increasing recognition. The inhabitants demonstrate that open business models based on a local crowd economy can make the difference. Between the 1950s and 1970s, several hydropower plants were established in the district of Vuollerim. At that time, the population of the region reached up to 3,000 people. After the completion, many construction workers left with their families to work at other places. Additionally, in the early 1990s, the hydroelectrical power company drastically reduced the number of employees, resulting in a major rural migration wave. Concerns about the decreasing population, businesses about to close down, and abandoned buildings aroused an entrepreneurial spirit in Vuollerim. First, a group of more than 100 villagers pulled together to save the hardware store. This local broad ownership business model became the archetype for a number of other village-owned companies. In 2006, 140 villagers got together to buy the closed-down hotel, establishing a limited liability company. They voluntarily renovated it and turned it into a vibrant hotel with local touch. To promote tourism in the area, the community-owned eco-tourism company Lapland Vullerim Limited was established. The venture markets packages of activities like go-karting, Northern Lights tours, the making of ice lanterns, and house-jumping dinners, so that visitors can experience a real taste of life near the Arctic Circle by drawing on the resources of the 50 local business co-owners. But it is not only the huge variety of key activities that make this venture stand out. It's also their cost and revenue stream structure. 100% of the profits are reinvested into further growth and the local economy. Key to the success of this business model is the understanding that each of the co-owners profits through their individual contributions to the collective venture. And as the collective venture grows, so too does their opportunity for experiencing a more vital and attractive village. With this mindstep of collaboration, any village in Europe could find their genuine way of creating value for the local economy and strengthen their community.
Cost structures and revenue streams. Generally, key resources, key activities, and key partners end up to cost for every organization. And it is important to know, is the business more value-driven or cost-driven? Because many businesses will go bankrupt in the beginning years if they don't understand the cost. But by managing the costs and making a long-term relationship with the customers, a company can make a lucrative revenue streams. Here, please note that the revenue streams represent cash flow, not the profit. Let's see how has Lapland Vullerim managed the costs and created revenue streams. As you can see, villages pulled together to save the hardware stores, bought a closed down hotel and renovated it. Then they established the company and added some activities to promote tourism. What are the results? Through joint ventures and partnerships, costs are managed and visitors experience the taste of rural life using the resources of the co-owners. In addition, 100% of profit are reinvested into further growth and the local economy. It means that the more visitors come, the more revenue streams are generated, which can improve that area. Alright, now that I have explained all the business model canvas components, you can do a home task to fully get acquainted with each component. Please read this page and follow the instructions. You can also find the link in the video description if you are watching the video on YouTube. And once you are done, you can compare your business model canvas to what my colleagues and I have done before. Briefly, let me say that the owner with high communicative skills has been able to make a good market for her unique products. In addition, she delivers oysters directly to restaurants, means that she can talk to chefs face to face and hear their needs. At the same time, she keeps her distribution costs low. And we have also put the speed of action and communicative skills in red, mentioning that they are intangible assets that help the owner to manage her business. Okay, now we are done with the first session, and here you can see our reference list. You can read through them if you are interested in the concepts of business model and business model canvas. And if you have any question, you are very welcome to send us email. See you in the next session, and thank you so much for listening.